Welcome to the 3 Arts Workshop, Week 3. In this week's work in grammar, we're thinking about prepositional phrases. A preposition is an indeclinable word or particle governing and usually preceding a noun, pronoun, etc., and expressing a relation between it and another word. Sometimes definitions by example are helpful here. Words like in, by, for, around, under, these are prepositions. And when they head up groups of words, phrases, they become prepositional phrases. This is the first sentence of Tolkien's The Hobbit. In a hole in the ground there lived a hobbit. Let's hunt out the prepositions in this sentence. The first one we see is the first word in the sentence, in. The second one we see is the fourth word in the sentence, in again. Notice that these prepositions are linked to groups of words that form chains, in a hole, in the ground. Both of these clusters of words tell us something about another word in the sentence, namely lived. They tell us where a hobbit lived, in a hole, in the ground. Here's another example. Where's the first preposition in this sentence? At. Where's the second preposition? Of. Notice again that with each of these prepositions we have clusters of words forming in front of the preposition. At the corner of the barn. The prepositional phrase of the barn relates information to the noun corner, which is the object of the preposition in the first prepositional phrase, at the corner. The prepositional phrase, at the corner, tells us something about the verb saw. Where did he see the intruder? At the corner of the barn. Here we reach some important information explaining how prepositional phrases function in sentences. There are two kinds of prepositional phrases. The adjective phrase, in which a prepositional phrase modifies a noun or pronoun, and the adverb phrase, in which a prepositional phrase modifies a verb, adjective, or adverb. So coming off our last lesson, which we talked about adjectives and adverbs, we'll see in this lesson that prepositional phrases function very similarly because they modify the same things and they answer those same questions we discussed in the last lesson. Adjective phrases answer which one, what kind, and how many, and adverb phrases answer when, why, how, and under what circumstances. Let's turn to this one we looked at a moment ago. At the corner of the barn, he saw the intruder. At the corner. At is the preposition. Corner is the object of the preposition, or that noun that's being linked to another word, and the whole phrase is modifying the word saw. This is an adverb phrase because it's modifying a verb and it's answering one of those four adverb questions, the where question. Where did he see the intruder? At the corner of the barn. Of the barn. Of is the preposition. Barn is the object of the preposition, and the whole phrase is modifying the noun corner. This is an adjective phrase because it's modifying a noun and it's answering one of the adjective questions. It's answering the what kind question. What kind of corner? The corner of the barn. This is how you diagram prepositional phrases. Again, we're using a descending diagonal line, but here we have a horizontal line that runs parallel with the baseline, and that's where we place the object of the preposition. The preposition itself goes on the diagonal descending line, the object of the preposition on that horizontal line, and any remaining modifiers we put on additional diagonal descending lines stemming from the object of the preposition, just as we would put a modifier stemming from the baseline. Over beneath the verb, you can see a case in which we have prepositional phrases linked together, just like we saw in our two examples a moment ago. We simply chain them together and run object of preposition to object of preposition. Let me show you, though, how this plays out with a real sentence. Snow on the ground glitters in the rays of the sun. First we find the verb. Where's the verb? Glitters. Glitters. We want to put that on the baseline to the right of the vertical line. Now, who or what is glittering? Snow. That's our subject. We put that on the baseline to the left of the vertical line. Okay. Now we have these remaining words in the sentence. Notice, though, that we have some prepositions, on, in, and of, and each of these forms clusters of words, forms prepositional phrases. What we want to do is figure out how we diagram these by first asking the question, is each one of these an adjective phrase or an adverb phrase? Let's look at the first. On the ground. Adjective or adverb? Well, it's modifying a noun, snow, and it's answering one of the adjective questions. What kind? What kind of snow? The snow on the ground. So we know that this is an adjective phrase. We want to put it then beneath the word snow on this descending diagonal line and then horizontal line, placing the preposition on the descending diagonal and the object of the preposition, ground, on the horizontal. We have one remaining word in the sentence, the. We remember from the last lesson that the is an article, a determiner, an adjective, and since the is modifying ground, we put it on a descending diagonal beneath ground. What about this other phrase, in the rays? Well, we see that by its proximity and by the way the sentence reads, in the rays is modifying glitters, the verb of the sentence, and it's also answering one of our adverb questions, under what circumstances? Under what circumstances does the snow on the ground glitter? It glitters in the rays. So we see that it's an adverb phrase, and we want to put it on one of these prepositional phrase structures beneath verb. Draw our descending diagonal, our horizontal line, put the preposition on the diagonal, and the object of the preposition on the horizontal line. What about that last word, the? Again, just like last time, we see that it's a modifier, it's an article, it's an adjective, so we put it on a descending diagonal beneath the object of the preposition. One last phrase, of the sun. Here, of the sun isn't directly modifying glitters, it's modifying the prepositional phrase that is proximate to it. It's modifying the word rays, and it's answering an adjective question. Which rays? The rays of the sun. This is also an adjective phrase, so we link it to the first prepositional phrase. We make it descend from the object of the preposition in the adverb phrase, and we follow the same pattern. Preposition goes on the descending diagonal, object of the preposition on the horizontal line, and the article goes beneath the object of the preposition. So to sum it all up, prepositions are relationship words which link nouns and pronouns to other words, and when they stand at the head of a cluster of words, they form phrases, prepositional phrases. There are two kinds of prepositional phrases, adjective phrases and adverb phrases. The adjective phrase modifies a noun or a pronoun, and it answers one of three questions: which one, what kind, and how many. And the adverb phrase modifies a verb, an adjective, or another adverb, and it answers one of four questions: why, where, how, and under what circumstances. You can diagram prepositional phrases by drawing diagonal descending lines running from the baseline, merging into horizontal lines perpendicular with the baseline. The preposition goes on the diagonal, the object of the preposition goes on the horizontal. Any remaining modifiers can be placed on diagonal descending lines stemming from the object of the preposition. Sometimes, as you can see here, again, prepositional phrases form chains. Chain them together like so, and any extra modifiers again go on diagonal descending lines stemming from the object of the preposition. For this week's quiz, you need to be able to diagram prepositional phrases, and it's likely that the example sentence will have a chain of prepositional phrases as you see in this summary picture here.